Good afternoon to you all. I'm Melissa reporting from ZITF. This is the last day of the trade fair, and we're here with Miss Juliet Gombe from JAIROS JIRI. So I would like her to inform us about whatever she has in store for us.
Okay, thank you very much, Melissa. What I would like to maybe let you know is that JAIROS JIRI has taken a new step or a new stride to improving lives of persons with disabilities, right? We've moved from institutionalization and transitioned to community-based inclusive development. And what are we saying with community-based inclusive development? We're talking about a situation whereby we have stopped taking persons with disabilities and keeping them in homes or in institutions per se. But we are saying persons with disabilities should be given equal opportunities and enjoy their rights within the communities that they live in. So this approach that we've introduced, or this strategy that we're using in promoting humanitarian work, is that it has 5 thematic areas. It's anchored on 5 thematic areas, namely health, education, livelihoods, empowerment, and the social component. Under the livelihood component, the major aim is for us to improve food access within the households of persons with disabilities, as well as household income. And this we do through promoting of skills development for persons with disabilities. Because we are saying if somebody has a skill, they are able to engage in gainful livelihood activities for them to be able to have access to health, education services, and so on and so forth, right? We also promote or we also facilitate funding of income generating activities that will enhance their income generation abilities within the households, right? Then the health component, our aim is to improve the health and functional well-being of a person with disabilities, right? So we're offering therapy, or we are also giving them assistive devices to improve their mobility. At the same time, we work with government line ministries because in humanitarian work, it is difficult for you to cover all the needs of persons with disabilities on your own. So we work with government line ministries. We also work with relevant stakeholders, NGOs, churches, and individuals within the community, right? Then still under the health component, we also facilitate the provision of assistive devices that I've said. We refer them to respective medical or health institutions for them to access the necessary health facilities that they need, right? Then we have the social component, where we are trying to promote their engagement in community activities so that they also participate. This way, we are saying if they are able to participate, or if we motivate them to improve their ego and esteem, they'll be able to participate in community activities or family activities, right? We do that using various other strategies to promote that. But most importantly, we promote empowerment of persons with disabilities, where they are taught about their rights and how to fight for their rights. I can say basically that is that. Which other component did I leave? We talked of health. Education. We are education. The program aims or strives at improving the education services for persons with disabilities, where we are aiming to have appropriate and quality education for persons with disabilities. What's most important or unique about this component is that what JAIROS JIRI is aiming to do is to have education services accessible to persons with disabilities. We are promoting accessible infrastructure for children with disabilities within schools, right? We're also promoting having establishment of resource units. What do we mean by resource units? We are saying children with disabilities should not be taken to institutions to access education, but rather they should learn with their siblings or their counterparts within the community, go to school together, go back to school together, right? So we established these special units, which are known as resource units. If funds are available, we also help in refurbishing those resource units so that these children can learn and have access to education just like anybody else, but within the communities that they live in. This way, We are hoping that this will kill stigma and discrimination against persons with disabilities in the communities.
All right, thank you so much. So,
well, I can say we do a bit of both. We have structures that we work with, right? Like we have what are called inclusive committees in the operational areas that we work with. By the way, JAIROS JIRI could have been operating in all the wards or in all the provinces in the country, in all the districts in the country. But due to limited funding, we cannot do that. There are selected areas that we work in and selected wards that we work in. But within those operational areas, we have structures that we've put in place. For starters, we can talk about what are called inclusive committees or disability committees. These are committees that are comprised of people from different departments, right, who will help us mainstream disability in the different programs that are taking place within the community. And also, they'll even help us to identify those people. Because sometimes we can say JAIROS JIRI is the one who's supposed to be looking for those people. But at the same time, we are also trying to train people to come and look for the services, for information on how to handle issues to do with disability in case they have a person with disability within the family. Yes, so maybe, I don't know, are we doing both? Looking for them and them looking for us? Probably.
well, I think what you're doing is okay. I could say it's okay. Some might disagree, but since you spoke of limited funding, so I'm assuming.
Initially, I think I talked about a change in the way things are being done. So that process, that transitioning, I think it's a process, right? So since it's a process, I think it will also take time to have those people out of the streets, right? Using the empowerment program, we're doing advocacy work and so on and so forth, right? We were trying to teach them on how important it is for them to be aware of their rights and also how to fight for their rights and so on and so forth. At the same time, I talked of the livelihood component, which also aims at improving their income generation capacities within their households. So in other words, for those that we are able to assist with establishment of income generating activities, I'm sure they're off the streets. And for those, sometimes maybe we're still working with attitudes because the empowerment component mainly fights change of attitudes from the negative to the positive, so that you see disability as not the animal that is scary, and you see yourself as a case of pity and so on and so forth. Yes. So taking them off the street all at once, that will be very difficult. It's a process, and we are working towards that using the CBID concept that I've talked about.